Hey guys, Azrak Collections here, and today we're doing another Azrak Collections custom video. So today we're basically creating another custom action figure using this KO Superman from AliExpress. We will turn this Superman into the black suit Superman that we've all seen from the Snyder Cut of Justice League. So before we start the custom, I'll just give you a quick checklist of the items you will need so that we can check that off and then get straight into customizing the figure. Obviously, you'll need the KO Superman from AliExpress. You can also use the actual Superman, but he's way too expensive, so I'll definitely recommend trying it with the KO first. And if you really like it, you could potentially move up to the actual Superman. You also need some black primer paint. So I've got the Citadel Chaos black paint here, which I'm going to use to spray on the suit. We'll also need some Mr. Super Clear for the boots, and we'll also need some black fabric for the cape. We'll need some scissors, we'll need some glue, we'll need some black paint that is matte for the cape harness, we'll need some silver paint for the silver accents on the chest logo, and we'll also need a paintbrush to apply these paints onto the figure too. So before we start painting any of the body parts, we basically want to remove all the removable parts. So first off, I took off the chest emblem by heating up the emblem with some hot air from a hairdryer, and once it got soft enough, I pulled it out of Superman's chest. It does leave some nubs in there sometimes, but it should be fine. Like you're gonna glue it onto the suit anyways later on. So I removed the chest piece first. After that, I slit the suit on the back so that it has an opening, and I basically removed the figure out of the back. So that's that. Also with the boots, I basically took the boots out of the Superman figure and also took the boots apart from the shoe piece so that they can be painted without any interruptions. So now let's go through the painting process. We basically want to set everything up in like a paint kind of studio for ourselves. I'm basically just going to use cardboard and do it outside so that all the harmful fumes are left outside. I'm basically going to use the Citadel Black Chaos primer paint and spray everything that you see here with this paint so that everything has an even tone of black. And once I'm done with that, I'll basically spray the boots with the Mr. Super Clear paint so that the paint is sealed in. And that's all I'll do for the boots. And that's all I'll do for the custom suit as well. Maybe you can paint on a bit of silver for the accent, but I'm not going to do much more than that. And with the emblem, you basically need to paint it matte black, and that's the Chaos Citadel black paint. And then once that's done, you just want to run over the S parts and the outline with silver paint. So that's all there is to it. So here we have everything painted and dried. So it took about 3 to 4 hours for me to do everything. I also used a hairdryer just to dry everything a little bit quicker. So basically what I've gone in and done is painted everything with Citadel black primer paint. And for the boots and the emblem, I've put a layer of Mr. Super Clear on top as well so that they're sealed off. The emblem we'll do a little bit more work on by basically painting the emblem silver all around the S and the outlines. And also for the boots, we're pretty much done, so they can just pop straight back in. I've not painted the insides of the boots because they don't really matter. They can still stay red because they're going to be hidden into the figure. But yeah, so everything looks pretty good and black and very even, so that's really good. And you can still see the texture shining through, so no issues with losing any texture with the priming paint at all. Let's look at, so let's just gonna fall over, but let's look at the suit as well. So yeah, the insides are still blue, but then with the primer paint, it just really latches on to the fabric, and it's not sticky or anything to the touch. There's still quite a lot of flexibility. Well, there's a little bit of a gap here and there, but then that's just me not doing a thorough enough job. But yeah, I mean, it just really gets the job done, and it's a really good like flat kind of black, which is awesome. There are a few places that I've missed in terms of paint, but then that's just my fault. It's nothing to do with, I mean, the technique. So it should still work, and you should get like a great kind of output. So before we reassemble the action figure, something that I've done off camera because I forgot to record it is basically go in with like a Tamiya paint, or you can use Citadel paints or whatever paints you have. So I've basically taken a paintbrush and then painted the part here black. It was previously blue, so I've just basically painted over it. So that's basically all I've done. There's a little bit of glue residue that I could have maybe taken off, but yeah, I just went the easy route because I'm going to glue on a cape on here later on anyways. So that's the body, and that's just something that I've painted on. So now we're ready to assemble the figure. So here I'm basically just putting on the super suit. Shouldn't be too difficult. I basically feed the legs through first, and there it goes. So as you can see, the fabric is still stretchy, so there's no problems with the fabric not being, I guess, movable at all. So that still works like a charm, no issues there. I'll feed the hands through as well. And once that's done, basically pull it taut, and that's the super suit on the body done. So that's what it looks like, and that's a pretty good. I see some spots here that I've missed, but then that's basically just me not doing a thorough enough job. I should probably repaint, just add one more layer of black Citadel paint. But then yeah, overall I think it still looks good, and it's a good enough black to really stand out. So next up, we'll just pop the boots on. Here's the right leg, should just fit straight through. There you go. And here's the left leg, and that should fit straight through as well. Next we'll pop the neck piece on, and there you go. Next we'll pop on the head, and that looks pretty cool. So we still have to stitch it at the back, but yeah, that's looking pretty cool so far. And I'll also pop the hands on. So that's the right hand here, left hand here, and there we go. So next I'm basically just going to stitch the back up. So I'm just using a thread and a needle, and also I've taught you this in the previous video, so I'm going to use the method where I'm going in and out. So it's basically in here and then up one step, and then move to the other side, up, move to the other side, up. So I'm basically going to use that zigzag stitch and then stitch the back up. So here we have Superman in the black suit, and the back is stitched up as well. So this is what it looks like. And if you look here, he retains most of his articulation, so there's no issues there. Like this bunching up happens even with the regular suit. And elbows can be articulated, knees as well, no issues there. So yeah, everything is equally as articulated as it was before, although the suit has a little bit more stiffness to it compared to before. So next we're ready to move on to the chest emblem. So all I'm going to do is use this chrome silver paint from Tamiya. I'm using Tamiya because it's easier for me to find at my local hobby store. So basically using that paint with some paint brushes to go around the edges of the S here, and make it so that the S is silver as well as the outlines on the emblem. And here we have the Superman S shield all done. So I basically just painted it with the Tamiya silver that I showed you earlier, and also put a thin layer of Mr. Super Clear on top so that we can preserve the paint. But yeah, we're basically now ready to put it onto the figure. So for the cape, all that we're doing is basically taking the cape that came with Superman, and I've took it off from the figure for the painting, obviously. So what I'm doing is putting it on top of a black fabric and tracing it out, and basically cutting around the black the outline so that the black fabric matches the Superman cape, and we're basically just gonna stick it onto Superman. So there are better ways to do this, especially I see this only because in the movie or in the trailers, the cape that Superman has is more charcoal gray or very dark gray rather than black. So if you could find gray fabrics, that's probably better. But yeah, for this purpose and for the demonstration of this video, we're just going to use black fabric. So here we have the outline done for the cape. I've basically given the outline like a little bit more space than the actual cape because I want to cut inside the line. So then I still have a little bit of leeway to cut inside the line, and the cape still being as big as I want it. So yeah, so now I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and then cut right inside the lines. So here we have Superman all done, and basically to stick the emblem and the cape on, I'll basically use Selleys Power Grip plastic primer and glue. So basically I put some dabs of glue on the shoulders as well as the chest, and basically stuck in the emblem and the cape. So yeah, that's how we've completed Superman. So that's what Superman looks like all done. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this action figure custom tutorial. It's a pretty basic, easy custom, not too much going on. You basically need some primer paint from Citadel to paint the suit black, and everything else is pretty much just very simple. So I hope you enjoyed this custom tutorial, and I hope you do this at home as well. If you have the Mezqueo Superman, it's a great thing to do and have like different versions of him, especially because the Justice League movie is coming out and you definitely want a Justice League version of Superman. So this is the best way to achieve that, or at least the best way that I can think of to achieve that. I've seen other people use fabric dyes and stuff like that. I mean, that would probably work even better. So if you do have access to dyes, definitely do try that out. But I found that this method was easiest for me, and that's what I've done. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Bonus content for anyone that's stuck around after the video. So we're just looking at this cool Superman figure. It does look very similar to the custom that we've done in this video, but there are some key differences. The fabric is the same, the painting method is the same, the chest emblem is the same, but the cape is a little bit different. I just found a little bit better fabrics, and then I thought that would work better, so the cape is a little bit different. And the other big difference is that this figure is using a Mixmax body. So this figure is bulkier and has a little bit more heft to him, so just a little bit more girth, and obviously the thighs are a little bit bigger as well, so it definitely fills in the suit a lot better. So the difficult part for this custom is basically dremeling out the whole shoulder bit and basically making it as thin as possible so that I could glue it onto the Mixmax body. So that's what it looks like with the Mixmax body, and the head on this figure is also from an actual Mezco Superman figure, so that's why it looks a little bit different but better. So a second bonus in this video, if anyone stuck around after the first bonus, if you managed to get your hands on 4 KO Superman like I did, you can basically use one of your Superman, use the exact same method on everything else, and turn your Superman into General Zod. So what I've done here is I've bought the head off of Action Figure Customs on eBay, and the head is a shrunken down version of a Hot Toys head, and I've basically just put it onto the Superman body. I've obviously removed the cape. There's a little bit of glue residue on the shoulders, but I'll just paint over it so it's a little bit more clean. I think that that's a great custom. And with a chest emblem, I'm still working on the Zod chest emblem. I'm not sure how to get that done, but I'm just brainstorming a few ideas. But once that's done, I'll have a cool centerpiece in my collection with Superman and Zod. So anybody that's still stuck around, this is a triple bonus. We're basically comparing the Mezqueo body versus the Mixmax body with the Superman suit. So let's take a up close look at these boys. And yeah, so you can see that the Mixmax body is a little bit wider, so it fills in the suit a lot better. And I think everything else is pretty much similar, but the thighs are pretty huge on the Mixmax body, so that makes Superman look a little bit more imposing still. And I think the chest is a little bit bigger as well. So without the cape, the body obviously looks a little bit better because you don't have black on black distracting the figure. So that's what Superman looks like with the Mixmax body, which I think is a better body. And with the cape, it just adds a little bit more distraction, so Superman looks a lot leaner. But yeah, it's Superman versus Zod, so that's awesome.